figured I'd do a different video this time. Also, hi. You can't, looks like you can see some of it. This is like the best like setup I'm gonna get, I guess, for now. These are all the names in my book. It actually took a while to write all these out. Turns out there's quite a lot of names. So these are all the names in the roots of existence. Here, look. So this is the roots of existence. This is just this chunk. Fractal, which is the shape of reality. Possibility, which is the beginning of everything, of course. Rhythm, chance, and pattern. Space, element, duality, creation and destruction, time and change, light and shadow, life. Life, that's us. That's us. And interconnectedness, which is life being able to look back on itself and realize that we're all connected. And also all these names. This is the grove of experience. I guess I can write that like down here. This is all out of whack, but grove of experience. Grove of experience. This is the grove. There's lots of names in here. It starts over here. I'm not sure how many names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh my god. There's 25 names. 25 names in the grove. Honestly, this is like expanded a lot. I think when I first came up with a name with the list for it, it was around like 16, and then it became 19, and it was 19 for a while, and then it was 21, and it was 21 for a while, and then I added reflection. Wait, where is reflection? Here it is. I added reflection and acceptance and safety and compassion. So I added I had some names. That's from 21 to 25 right there. And then right here, this is the house of thought. I can write that right here. I'm gonna try to write it while looking at the video. Oh, this is weird. House of thought. This is like the awe. This is A, and then this little symbol right here makes it awe. That's T, and this is TH. I really like the TH symbol because it can be written like really fancy, like. Okay, I'm doing it again. I'm looking at the video, but like this. This is like a big fancy version of it with the little loop in here, and like I can like loop it back here and then just like go straight into the line, and that's how it starts. Anyway, I'm actually trying to write the story. I'm just messing about trying to come up with plot lines. Technically, yes, it's a little bit further along than this already. It's just that I'm trying to come up with a larger story than just the story that I had already like written into the book. So like I could show you, but it was kind of like a really basic story of like us, like is basically me and you, whoever the reader is. We are like crawling through the roots, and like the roots are also in space, cause like it's funny, like when we're on the earth, we're looking up at the stars, but the stars are below us too. We never really think about it being like below us too. Like if you look at the ground, and like if you could see through the ground, you'd see stars too. So in the roots there's stars, so it's like kind of cosmic roots. And we break through after the darkness. We're like walking through, and we're naming each of the roots, and we're learning their names, and we're taking them with us, taking a little piece of them with us so that we can remember them always. And then we emerge into the grove. We finally see light, and like this, the actual sunlight, not just faraway starlight. We have sunlight, and we have grass and trees, and we walk through the grove, and the river is right next to us the whole time, just as it was in the roots, the groundwater. And when we emerge, the river also emerges with us, and it's flowing next to us through the grove, and we're walking along, and there's little touchstones and places to pause, and we're learning the names of the trees and taking a piece of them with us so that we always remember. And then we build a home. We build a home, and we live in there a while. And in the safety of the walls, we learn to think beyond survival. And we learn how to elevate our experience, and we learn names of all the rooms in the home. And then we look out the window, and we see the sunset, and it's just like, it's a pretty basic story, but it is comfy. I did really like that story. I just feel like when I trace these names, possibility, the way that I found rhythm, even though it's so funny, I should have found rhythm so long ago. Rhythm was like one of my last names on my list. Like literally the last name that I added to the list was rhythm. Which is really funny because the whole thing doesn't work without rhythm. That's like where did chance and pattern come from? Rhythm. And it was because of these names that I found rhythm. There had to be a heartbeat. Anyway, I figured it'd be fun to like show you some of my alphabet, and so you can see me writing it live. And I don't know if you can like hear any of this, but if you can, then I love the scratch sound, so like hopefully you guys do too. So I didn't mention life force and nature here, and I also am not writing about the roots here, because I think I have another paper where I wrote about the roots. And I kind of already have that story down pretty well. And I haven't really explored the Grove much. I've just been really busy. I feel like I should have already explored the Grove, but things changed in my life. Everything was going one way, and now it's going another way, and and the pivot had to happen. So anyway, it says we begin innocent, a child who walks this world, a being of good and wonder and kindness. The child knows, and then we forget. This is the O. I kept it in O. And then the aw piece makes it an aw. like a or, like a or. Forget or. Makes an aw sound. Which is really funny. It actually took me a long time to like realize that I needed that, because I was just keeping it just the O. And like I was any like sound that ended in O or had an O in it, it made sense, but I realized that for and faux are pretty different. I'm not sure what, I can't remember the scenario, but child knows. Funny enough, this is a phonetic alphabet, so like knows, Knows, is also like your nose, like they're spelled exactly the same way, like nose and nose, because it's N-O-Z, nose. Okay, so we begin innocent, yes. The next name on the list is sensation. Maybe we are greeted by light and sound. Our first experience. And this leads to, and I could talk about, like sensation is all about the five senses. So, wait. 5. I'm actually still trying to remember my numbers, so I'm pretty sure this is 5. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. It could not be, but I'm pretty sure 4 is down and 5 is up, because they're right in the middle. So 4 is like round down, 5 is round up. What? I had to keep it simple. Okay, anyway, so 5 senses is what's basically covered in the sensation. We might not be experiencing all of those immediately, but we do at some point. This is supposed to be like an exploration of all of our wisdoms, so it might not be perfectly linear. It's naturally retroactive, so there's going to be just truths that are out of place when you go through it the first time, and then when you reach the end, you find the beginning again, and you can look through it again, and they won't seem out of place anymore, kind of thing. And if you know them, then they won't seem out of place at all. So there's this one, and so after sensation, because of sensation, we learn pain. I'm not sure what the story for pain is. Honestly, this is why I think it's so hard to write out the story, because like just saying through sensation we learn pain, that is like the story already. This is how I found the layering, is by listening. So this is my P. This is what it looks like. P sound. And then A, N. And then I make a double line to make it A. Pain. This is pain. Pretty easy, right? I think the umlaut already does that. Pain from sensation, from unexpected, unexperienced, unexpected, unexperienced. Sensation. Don't worry about my handwriting. You can't tell, right? And we don't understand it. We don't understand. And so, this is my like quick symbol for and. Otherwise it looks like this. And. Honestly, it looks like normal and. Just like a little backwards. Don't be looking at that. Anyway. And so, because we don't understand, we play. We play with our senses. This is I want to explain this to you actually. This will be fun. So here's senses. C. I know it looks like kind of like an S, but it's like the French C. And it makes the S sound. R E N C E. And then a single dot to make it eh, because one dot makes it short. It's eh. And then open is like ER is like this is the E in ER, So this is sense, but because C and Z have the same symbol, just one dot difference. So like if I put like a dot here, that would make it Z. This would be sense. But I get rid of it, right? Because it's sense, right? Senses. And because the same symbol appears after this next vowel, what I would do if it was another C, I would just put a double dot here underneath. this means that there's another one after this vowel. But since it's the other kind of its symbol, it's the Z, not the C, I put a third dot for the dot that would be added. Well, actually, it works the other way around too. So if it was like census kind of thing, like Z, C, then it's just a third dot, just to show that it's the other type. So this is senses. Long story short. We play with our senses and our surroundings. That says surroundings. I swear. We play with our senses and our surroundings. And in our play, honestly, I think I'm supposed to be coming up with like, how are we playing? Because that's part of the story. Like, what are we doing when we're playing? Are we playing by the river? I had like a Breach of Terabithia moment in my original, I mean, it's still written, so like technically it's still there. In my story, it's like we're like trying to hop across the rocks in the river, and we slip on one and fall in the river, and it's like a really scary moment, and that's when we learn. Oh, wait, in our play, wait, hang on. Well, we're having fun, you know? We learn. No. We discover. Because that's what play is all about. It's all about discovery. I'll tell you something else as well. So, the symbols for ska, like C looks like this, and K looks like this, because, you know, I really liked the C. And if I were to transliterate this, it would be a K. So this is a C and this is a K, even though this looks like an S and a C. Anyway, because they look so similar, I don't like writing them one after another. So to make ska, I made it look like this. Discovery. It's a double like this. Kind of reminds me of Elvish. Discovery. And this is ER. Discovery. So this symbol without the dot is an F, and with the dot is a V. F, V. K. G. S. Z. Easy. We discover, not discovery. This is an A, and the original open is ah, and it makes it one dot for short. It's discover. We discover. Oops. This is an O and an E combined. It literally made itself. Like I already had the O, I already had the E, and this is the oi sound. And just combining them makes a smooth. This is with the E, double dot is E, and this is the O, so it's oi, oi. And then this is cha, And then with a dot is j, so it's joy. Joy. It's joy. Stop. I know you're laughing. Hang on. I'm just gonna blow my nose over here, and you guys are going to have to survive it. The most tame, the most tame blowing your nose. Okay. Joy. We find joy. In joy, we learn of lightness and I don't know, maybe like some kind of like personal power or something. Because when you can make yourself have joy, it's like a whole nother thing, personal power. We learn of lightness and personal power, and in our joy, we forget our place. We forget pain. And because we forgot pain and we forgot ourselves, our place, we become vulnerable. This is why happiness is actually feared by the people who are hurt, because it makes them vulnerable. Joy makes us happy and carefree and content and we're open. All the parentheses. I swear this will all make sense to me someday. It's actually not about reading it back, it's about writing it and then having my hand and my mind remember because I wrote it. Just writing something was a huge boon. What time? How many? Okay, well, we barely covered anything, and it's already almost 30 minutes in. Let's just go for a little bit longer. In our joy, we forget. And because we are vulnerable, we are aloof. Because we are aloof, we are vulnerable. And aloofness leads to mistakes. It leads to pain. Us like messing up, slipping in the river, hurting ourselves maybe, and also maybe having a scary moment. Fear creeps in. This is a combination symbol. So the little tail that's usually on the C, I added it to the P to make a ps sound. Creeps. Because I didn't like how P and C looked next to each other. So I made a new symbol to combat that. It's funny how much innovation I've come up with just to avoid words looking ugly. I don't know why I can't erase that dot. What is this? Anyway. I don't know. Was it there before when I wrote the letter? Fear creeps in and begins to harden our innocence. And this is because we are learning. And fear is probably the most powerful impression that we ever experience. Pain, for sure. But fear is there always. After we learn of fear, fear is always there. Never ever disappears. And in our fear, we search for someone. This is an interesting truth of humanity, is that when we are afraid, we are most ready to trust. We look for someone or something, like a branch, like a tree branch, like a big leaf or something, you know? Not always just a person. Or something, could be a substance, you know, to trust. And interestingly enough, even a substance can offer compassion. Can seem like it is offering compassion. With bond, see, this is the P symbol, and with the dot it makes it the B symbol. B. With bond, we find compassion. Not just always bond, but because it doesn't have to be a strong bond to trust someone. We can, with bond and in faith, we can also trust on faith, and this can also be our downfall. But also it's a beautiful thing of us. People think that we need to beat fear and beat pain and beat our vulnerabilities because they are supposedly low vibrational. Trying to categorize things as low and high immediately creates a hierarchy. There is no hierarchy in truth. These are our truths, and there is no hierarchy for them. Low vibration, high vibration, they are all vibrations of our scale of our capacity. With bond and faith, we find compassion.